Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is JC Consult and my name is Joshua, and I have really helped a lot of students study in their dream country with good scholarships. So guys, if you are new here, just subscribe and like this video so that my YouTube will recommend my video to a lot of students. So guys, in this video, I would like to share with you a friend from K University who was a medical doctor from K University, her journey from K University to the US. What kind of visa she brought here, which exams she did write to get here. So this video is going to go away for so that many people, this is my second experience series. Guys, make sure you share this video with people so that if you know anybody who did any medical courses and they would like to come to the US, this experience series go way forward and help them. So welcome, Dr. Mro. Dr. Mro was one of my friends back in K University. So welcome, Doc.
Hi, Joshua.
Welcome to my experience series.
Oh, thank you. I'm very privileged to be on your channel. You're doing good work. So
thank you.
I'm highly privileged to be here. So yeah, so talking about my journey, like you said, I completed KNUST. I actually studied dental surgery. So yeah, I'm a doctor and specifically a dentist. And so after school, you know, everybody wants you to leave the country. My dad actually wanted me to leave the country, but I was like, no, I need to stay and help my country, you know, that kind of mindset. And so I did not leave. I stayed. I started working at Confanochi Teaching Hospital. Then from there, I moved to Ridge Hospital. Then after that, I was posted to Usher Hospital. So it's also in Accra. It's in Accra. Then I started working and living my dream as a doctor who is ready to help the country and help Ghana and, you know, just enjoying my life. I really like to enjoy life as well. So until I was faced with a challenge, and the challenge was that all the things I needed to do the work I wanted to do was very hard to come by. Okay, now I need this to do this procedure. The hospital does not have it. When are we going to get it? They will not say anything. So I wake up, I go to work Monday to Friday. I'm doing the same procedure because I have to refer other people to do, you know, things I can do elsewhere because I was not getting what I needed to actually work. And so it got me frustrated. So out of frustration, and then within that time lag period, I'm like, rather than sit here and do one thing over and over again, then I've always wanted to pursue a master's degree. And I always told myself that if I would ever pursue a master's degree, it's not going to be in Ghana. It's actually going to be outside the country. I didn't have any country in mind, but it had to be outside because I wanted to, you know, experience the foreign education system. So I started the search, and prior to that, I was taking some short courses from University of Washington on public health and all that. They were very short, but they were very educative, and that drew my, you know, attention into public health. But then I moved into global health, and one that can also help me with the health systems, because I noticed that me not getting what I want to work with was as a result of like, quote unquote, like a faulty health system, quote unquote. So why don't I just get out there and learn, and then after some time when I'm done learning and gathering all the experience, then I come back home and then I can impact. Me, I love Ghana. So I really love Ghana. I was even in Ghana in December. So somehow I'm going back home soon, you know. So that was how the whole journey turned out, the reasons behind coming here. So yeah, that's about it.
So when did you start the whole process, or when did you make the decision that fine, you're looking this and that, you're trying to get the required equipment or tools to do your work? So when did you make the decision that this time I need to go and study my master's in the US?
Okay, so for me, it was not like a solid decision. I was very torn. So I always used to say that I was coldly applying, okay, and I had help from, you know, people here in the United States and everything. But I was like, the application was very cold because around the same time I was writing my primary exams to specialize. So it was either or. I mean, it was just a way to get out of that facility anyways, and just either go to school or go to school, even if it will be in Ghana, then that means I'm specializing in a different hospital where I can get my tools to work, or start the application process and come here to learn my master's and get experience and come back and come and work. So for me, it was either or. I was not, aggressively applying. So it took like a very short period. And so I would say within the space of 3 months or less, I just put the CV together. But fortunately, I also worked with an agency, so Global Elite Pathway Consultant, because I was very busy. I couldn't do much. So they put my CV I sent them the CV I had. They brushed it up, put it together. Then I wrote my statement of purpose, but they refined it and refurbished it. And then I was able to, use it to apply. And trust you me, I got admission into 6 schools.
Whoa, so, congratulations.
Thank you. So I had the opportunity to choose where I wanted. So I don't know if I remember all the schools, but I got admission into Brandeis University, which I eventually attended. I got admission into University of Washington, Loma Linda University like George Mason University, University of South Carolina. And I think I'm forgetting the last school, but yeah, I got admission into 6 schools. And so I had to now weigh and balance and, do all that. So my headache was which school to attend or which school to pick. So now I decided to pick Brandeis University because they gave me a merit-based scholarship, and their school was just 1 year. So the master's degree was just 1 year. And one academic year was 9 months. So within 9 months, I had my master's degree. And so that was basically how it went, yeah.
So before we come here in the US, can you take us through right now? You've applied to 6 schools, you got admission to all these schools, and you chose one particular school for your visa application. So can you share with us your journey from admission when you got an I-20 to the visa interview? So can you share your experience on how your visa interview went, so that students who are now preparing for their interview will get motivated from your story?
Yes. So it was hard to choose, but then I chose 2 schools. Okay. So when you are done applying and you get your hello, congratulations, you've been admitted into this school. The next stage is to do your I-20. What you have to do is you need to pay a deposit. You pay a deposit to the school to hold that spot, to know that, yes, I'm coming. And then based on that, you submit more information like your bank statement and all that to the school to show that you can pay the rest of the tuition. And then based on that, they are going to issue you an I-20. Now, the I-20 is the documents that you are going to take to the embassy to show that you've actually obtained the admission to the school. So I made deposit to 2 schools because I was really still contemplating. So I got admission from 2 schools. One was University of South Carolina, and then the other was Brandeis University. The only disadvantage that University of South Carolina had was that it was 2 years. And if you have been in medical school for 6 years, I mean, sometimes it gets tiring. Like, I was really tired because one mistake I also made that I've always told myself I'll share with people was that after school, I blocked my brain for 2 active years. I'm like, you know what? I'm not studying again. It was too much studies. So I used the 2 years to enjoy myself and, practice with what I know. And, so I think that was one disadvantage that, I sort of had over there. And I wouldn't encourage anybody to, life. It's a continuous learning process. Don't ever say, this time means I'm just blocking my mind or something. I did that, and later I actually regretted it. But that's just by the way. So after I got the I-20 from both schools, then you need to go online to actually fill your application. But before that, you need to go to a bank. Usually it's GT Bank, and then you need to pay. Then you come back, you go online to the US website, and then you start filling the application, DS-160, and then based on that, you get a date. Now, my story is very interesting because I was not getting a date in Ghana. It was crazy at that time. It was like right after COVID when they had opened, so like all the dates had gone like 1 year away. So guess what? I had to go all the way to Sierra Leone to go get my visa. So that's where persistence also came in. Like I got it, I paid my I-20. I was not deferring that admission for nobody. And so fortunately, fortunately, I reached out to my school. I'm like, yo, I'm not getting any dates. And they're like, oh, we know other people who go to other countries and then they get the visa and they come back. So that's one thing. You always need to be in constant communication with your school.
With the school, okay.
Now, my school being a very good school, like every Monday or every like 2 or 3 days, they are going to release like countries and the wait times. That's what they used to do. Maybe because those times it was like everywhere. So maybe Liberia, the wait time for the visa is like maybe 3 weeks. This is like 4 weeks. And I also stayed up late at odd hours to do my research, like finding how many days is in this country, how many days is in that country, which country is this. And then I finally settled on Sierra Leone. And so I took a flight all the way to Sierra Leone, got my visa, I came back and I prepared for school. Yeah, so that's basically how the thing went.
So can you give us an estimated amount I'm sure the flight, hotel reservations, how long did you spend in Sierra Leone? Can you share so that students who are willing to also go there and take their visa can watch this video and they get motivated by it?
I think that'll be okay. So that'll be very hard for me to get the exact amount.
Okay.
Yes, but I think I used Africa World, and Africa World is not very, very, very pricey. Okay, but the only perk is that now because there are more slots, I'm hearing that most of those who are going to Sierra Leone are being asked to come back to Ghana. So before you want to go there, you need to really do your research.
Okay.
And the thing about the hotel part too is that when I went there, I was fortunate enough, I booked a hotel for like just about 2-3 days, but I was fortunate enough that was before my interview, but during my interview, I met a lot of Ghanaians. You have no idea. Like we've even made a family out of it. We are here and everything, but I found them and they were living somewhere where they didn't have to pay so much. So I just moved from my hotel and I joined them. So let's say give or take the accommodation, because I paid for just maybe let's say 2 nights in a hotel, we are talking about maybe let's say $60 per night each. So that's just the 2. That's like $120. Okay. And then when we stayed with the person too, the person really did not charge us so much because the owner of the house was a Ghanaian who was married to a Sierra Leonean. So for the rest of the days that I stayed there, the person was able to take, let's say, like $50 because we're buying our own food, we're cooking our own food and everything. But the duration will be like, let's say, about a week, maybe 7-8 days, because after they tell you that, oh, you have your visa, you don't get your passport right there and then. You need to wait for like about 5 to 6 days before, and I got there like about 2 to 3 days before my interview. So that was just how the whole thing played. So that's the duration and then about the cost. But the flight, maybe if you just search maybe Africa World Airlines, Ghana, Sierra Leone, you know like the approximate amount, you know, the round trip.
Yeah, so currently students are preparing for their interview. So can you share with us the kind of questions when you went for your interview, the visa officer asked you? Can you share with us some of the questions?
So I think for me, that was the easiest process of the whole thing. Okay, I was very nervous before I went. I prepared before I went. And so because it was so easy for me, I actually have a video on my YouTube channel. I think that's my highest watched video about the 3 secrets to get your F1 visa. I got my visa in less than, I should say 2 to 3 minutes. Like, I kid you not, when I say it, people are like, they raise their brows, but I'm like, you can do it. It's all about preparation. So I'll share some here, and then you all could go subscribe to my channel. It's Dr. Rich Love Mbro, and then you can watch the videos that I have there. I share my experience over there. So then the first thing I usually talk about is the preparation starts even before you choose the school and the course. Okay, the course you are choosing should have a direct link with your current career. or your bachelor's that you did. Like you, for example, you studied chemistry in school and you came to apply for what? Masters of Chemistry, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So the visa officer is not going to be thinking twice. Like, let's say you do chemistry and then you are now going to study tourism. They are going to look at you like, what are you? What's the switch? Now, even if you need to make a switch, you need to give them a very solid reason why you're actually doing that switch. So that's usually my first point. What you are doing now, be it school, be it work, it should be in direct line with whatever you're going to pursue. Because I call them higher, like it's higher education, master's, PhD, like you're going higher on the pedestal. So you have to make sure it aligns. That's number one. Then number two is you should know why you chose the school. And bro, like lady, bro, don't go and give an answer like because they have the best lecturers, because they have the no. You don't do that. No, don't do that. Go to the website of the school, choose, like look at it, look for one professor. Even if you didn't get scholarship, go and look for that one professor whose work aligns with something you're very passionate about, or something you want to study, or somebody you want to be like. And look at the work and tell them that because of this professor or because of this thing the school has, it has to be very unique. I learned that recently they are bouncing a lot of Ghanaian like students because everybody is going there singing the same song. So you need to be very unique when it comes to that aspect as well. And you need to make sure your finances are in check. So if you got this amount of scholarship and you still have some deficits, know who is paying. Uncle, no so find it's getting too much. Exactly. So find other ways, that you could pay. If you have a big brother who is working, you could use your brother, because they also believe more in nuclear family than extended family. I believe the visa officers don't, like, in America, nuclear family is stronger than the extended family. But in Africa, extended family sometimes is even way stronger than nuclear family, especially the Ashanti Kingdom, of our saying, So they don't understand it like that. They don't really understand that your uncle go all out unless you also prove to them beyond doubt. It's possible, like people come here with it, but when they have 10 people saying the same thing, it makes it a bit questionable. So when it comes to finances, you need to also make sure that your finances are in check, your finances are in place, you know what it's up, you know what it's about and stuff like that. So these are some of the things, and I have a whole video on that explaining everything. So you could go and watch it and then get more of the details to be able to get your visa. And when you get there, please don't be scared. The moment you are scared, these people are also psychologists. They are trained psychologists, they've gone through some kind of training to detect, body motion. So they detect body motions and stuff. So immediately you come off as nervous and then you're fidgeting and all that. That also decreases your likelihood of getting it. So you need to be very, very confident. Are you lying that you're going to do your master's? No, you're coming to do your master's. So be very confident and go. So that's all I can say.
So finally, you got your visa approved and you landed here in the United States of America. So can you share with us, I know your master's program was for a year. So can you share with us life in the US, the 1 year experience, your education in the US as compared to your education in Ghana? And as you said earlier, there were apparatus or equipment that you wanted to use as a dentist. You couldn't have access to it in Ghana. So when you got there, can you share your experience? Were you able to have access to those equipment? And how were you able to live that 1 year? And at least tell us about the 1 year journey during your master's degree program.
So the 1 year journey was bittersweet. It was nice, but it had its down moments. I tell you, if you were working in Ghana and you were comfortable and you are coming here for masters, brace yourself, because it's going to affect you mentally, okay? You move from having your own apartment and enjoying your life with your car and everything, and you come and you have to take a bus, and sometimes you have to share an apartment. I had to share an apartment because the rent was crazy expensive, So, having to have roommates all over again and all that, like it was bittersweet for the social part, having to learn a lot of things all over again, even driving, no matter how good you claim you know how to drive, you need to get your driver's license all over again. You bear me witness, right?
Yeah.
So the whole thing was like I said, it was bittersweet, but also my school, I was fortunate enough to meet other Africans. So we had, similar things to share, similar things to talk about, and that made it good. And when it comes to the academic aspects, it was top notch. Come on. I moved from just being a clinician to coding, coding on softwares that I never knew existed, like Stata and what have you not. So it was also tough, but I tell people this, and I'll always say it, that all you have to do is come. When you're doing it, you do it, okay? When they do the assignment, you don't know what will happen, but you can do it and you submit it. And the one thing that's very different about the educational system in both countries, for me, I believe, is that professors here don't look like they are coming out of their way to fail you. However, professors back in our home look like, I'll put it in quotes, because maybe that's not what they're trying to do. Maybe they're just toughening us, which I believe they are, but sometimes it comes off as if their intention is to make us fail. So they actually, drill us like, the exams and everything is so tough. And I go do my master's and I'm writing an exam, and my professor tells me that bring a cheat sheet, front and back, write everything that you think you cannot remember and bring it to the exam. Are you kidding me? My cheat sheet was my brain when I was in school. You're telling me to bring a cheat sheet, I'll kill you. So that is the difference, you see. So it looks like it makes it relatively easier. I tell people this, they don't believe me, but it makes it relatively easier to study here. So even if you have a low grade in an assignment, you can go to the professor and tell the professor that, Prof, this and this and this and this is the reason why I did not actually make it. So can I have a retake? Or can you give me a different set of questions? Or, it happened to me once, though. I was not well and I couldn't really have a good grade on my assignment. And I went to him, I'm like, check my other grades. You know that this is not my usual performance. And then he said, yes, that's true. And they give you a chance. You dare not.
Repeat it again.
Home. You dare not do it back home. You cannot go and tell your professor that you are sick, so he should give you another
another chance. They don't do that.
So sometimes that's the difference, and that's the journey. But it was beautiful. It was very nice. It was a great experience, and I tried to enjoy every little bit of it. Even though I was missing Ghana like crazy, I was missing all the fun. It's not as fun as Ghana, but it was for a good cause. So it actually was beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell us the year you completed school and what have you been doing after school? Can you share your experience with us?
So I completed last year, May. Oh, it's almost a year. Wow, time is flying. Yeah. So I completed May 2023.
Okay. And
as at then, look, so when you're done, you have to actually look for a job to initiate your post-completion OPT. For those who don't know OPT means optional practical training. And if you go on my channel too, I talk about STEM and non-STEM courses. So I did a STEM course. So that gives me 3 years OPT. That means I can stay in the country and work for 3 years and nobody can catch me that I'm doing it. So I usually advocate this for people who are coming. Try and find a course that is short, that's the STEM course. And so you go to school for 1 year and then you can work for 3 years. And after you're done working or before you finish, you can know what you want to do, whether you want to go back home or even if you want to set up something at home. 3 years is a good time for you to work and gather capital to go back home and then, set up something good. Or if you come and your mind has changed and you want to stay due to 1 or 2 reasons, I think 3 years is enough time for you to find your footing, in this country as well. So I found a job. So I'm currently working with a global health nonprofit. And so I'm working with them, trying to also get more experience And so that is what I have been doing basically, and enjoying the United States. So just, going places and working and just enjoying the United States, basically that.
The United States of America, the land of opportunities.
Yes, over here the opportunities will rather confuse you. You don't know what to do because there's so much to do. But back home, it's very straightforward, and you're a clinician. But here, it's crazy. It can be a headache sometimes. So it really is the land of opportunity, guys.
So in conclusion, there are students who are preparing for fall 2025. So they started gathering their documents, they started sending code emails to professors, and they are starting to prepare for the journey to start applying to schools coming September. Because the best time to apply for schools is September to December, especially when you need good scholarships. So what advice can you give to those students who are preparing and they have the dream to study here in the US?
Yeah. So what I would tell them is that they should persevere. Don't give up on that dream, okay? If we have been able to do it, trust me, you can do it, okay? And then research. I always tell people that I did my process in a haste, okay? I didn't take my time to watch all these YouTube channels that we are putting out there. And that's the reason why, for me, I even decided to create the channels to help people, okay? So don't take these things that we are doing for granted. These things that we are saying, we are doing it to help you guys. So research, go to the school's website, look, like really do your research before you even apply to the school, okay? Even if possible, if you can find some alumni who are on LinkedIn who have attended that school, reach out to them, talk to them, okay? As much as possible. They may or may not reply, but don't give up. That's all I have to say. Don't give up and research. Look, there's so much scholarship in America. Like, I cannot overemphasize that. There's so much money floating for education in America. There's so much scholarship. So all you have to do is to persevere, do your research, and write very good statements of purposes. Gather your documents. Don't let one transcript evaluation spoil your chance. So start early. Start as early as you can to put your documents together. And we are also here to help you as much as we can. We can't do it all, but we're also here to help you as much as you can. And if you don't have the time, I always say it, look for a credible educational institution to pay and then let them do it for you, okay? Some of them also really have the experience. If you don't have the time to do the research, you could also do that as well. So that's basically what I'll tell them. Please don't give up on that dream, okay? This was once my dream and I'm living it. So now I have to do another dream and then know what's next, yeah.
So guys, we thank to Dr. Mro for sharing the experience. We are grateful, Dr. Mro, and I believe this experience you've shared with us will go a way forward to help those who are preparing for their interview, as well as students who are also preparing their journey to study in the US. So we thank you very much. Dr. Mro also has a YouTube channel. Dr. Mro, can you tell us about YouTube channel so that my subscribers or viewers can go there and also subscribe to your channel as well?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is Dr. Rich Lavenbro, and fortunately Joshua and I have the same niche. So all I do is talk about how to come to the United States. I mean, how to study abroad, and then even when you've come here, what are the other steps you have to take? Sometimes we forget about what next when they come here. So sometimes I talk about some lifestyle tricks, like tricks and hacks you can use when you also get here as well. So it's basically coming here through the school route, and then when you are done, what's next? And when I find any other juicy information about coming to the United States, I share it as well. So that's about my YouTube channel. Go subscribe, watch my videos, like them, and comment, and let's get interactive.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mro. So guys, those who are preparing to study the US, send code emails. Code emails should be your friend. Send code emails and secure that good scholarship before you come here, so that you don't repeat the mistakes of those who go here and they are struggling to pay their tuition fee. If you're not watching my video about code emails, I'm going to pin it. Watch the video, and I've shared with you a template that I used to secure graduate assistance. So guys, thank you for watching this video. We are grateful. Just like this video and subscribe if you are new here. Subscribe and let's grow this channel together. So guys, I'm going to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.